My husband wants to temporarily marry an 18 years old. My husband, 36M, and I, 25F, have been married for 1 year and together for 3. He first came to me about this idea last month and wouldn't stop talking about it. It's very common to temporarily marry someone in a foreign country so they can get their papers to the US easily. It's a business actually. So when he said she was from Haiti, I wasn't suspicious. But I asked him if there was anyone else she could marry and he said, no. Even if there is, he might not be safe for her because I know her like family, so everything will be alright. He also told me she will be staying at our house for a while until everything is finalized. I saw her pictures on his phone. And damn, she is way prettier than me. I just feel so insecure, especially since we only got married 1 year ago. He says after everything is done, he'll divorce her and marry me again, and he also told me that there's not gonna be any romantic relations with her during the marriage. I'm scared that something bad will happen, especially the huge age gap and the fact that he's my husband and I don't want to let him go. She also might be coming in 2 weeks. This is either a troll post, or your husband is not being truthful with you about any of this. This is not how green card by marriage works. And I know this because my spouse got a green card by marrying me. Legitimately. You can't just divorce right after the card has been issued. Also, the card isn't just issued right away. It's a whole long process. The government can revoke the green card if you divorce right away because it's an obvious sign of fraud. Also, in order to get the green card, you have to prove the marriage is legit via various forms of evidence. From photos of your life together to statements from friends and family to knowledge of another's daily routines. His plan makes zero sense and is definitely not something that happens all the time. Your husband just wants to divorce you and marry an 18-year-old. I'm sorry. Your husband made this decision without you. You should be worried. I don't know which scenario is worse. A. That he is being legitimate with you and is only doing it for business, aka fraud that could get him imprisoned. Or B. He's having an affair with an 18-year-old because the woman in her young 20s that he's married is too old, but wants to convince her into moving the mistress in. Have you seen 90 Day Fiancé? This is actually illegal. Marrying someone just so they can get into the country is a bad idea. I'm in the process of bringing my fiancé to the US. And temporary is not the reality. Right now, marriage-based visa applications and fiancé-based visa applications are taking over 14 months to process just through USCIS. Then it has to go through the National Visa Center, and that process can take 36 months additional. Longer for some countries with backed-up US embassies. Add to that the time that you will have to process your divorce first. And then when she gets here, she will have to remain married until her status is adjusted to lawful permanent resident. He will also have to go there and marry her there. He can do the fiancé route, but again he's required to meet her in person first and at any time. If the government learns it's a sham marriage, severe consequences exist for both of them, including her permanent removal. There will be an in-person interview with an immigration officer and her. If the officer feels it's not genuine, it'll be denied. The officer will ask things like where her spouse works, where does he live, where was he born, etc. You know, the kinds of things people usually would know about a spouse. No, this is at minimum a 3-year process. Either he intends to replace you, or he hasn't investigated the logistics of this whole process. That is a whole bunch of red flags. He married you. He shouldn't even be thinking about getting married to someone else. How do you know for sure that he will divorce her? How do you know he won't sleep with her since it's his wife? I personally wouldn't be okay with this at all. The red flags location flag are visible from the moon here. Also, how can he marry her in 2 weeks if you two are already married? Where do you live that you can get a divorce that fast? Are you two really legally married? Really? Whatever your reply, once the divorce is done, let it stay permanent. Be rid of him and move on. This has disaster written all over it. Report him and his girlfriend, because let's be real, she's his girlfriend, to immigration. He's lying his ass off. You husband is borderline predatory. You have become too old for him and now he's trying to replace with an 18-year-old. Once he marries her he will give repeated excuses as why he can't divorce her. Don't fall into his trap. Who told you it is very common? I would not stand for that all. He's already 11 years older than you. This sounds bad. Your husband thinks he is DiCaprio. You've aged out. It takes way longer than 1 year for a green card marriage to work so the person can live in the US freely. Either put your foot down and tell him you are uncomfortable with the idea of getting a divorce, him marrying an 18-year-old and him breaking the law. If he does it anyway, divorce him and report his stupid ass. She won't be able to pass as his wife with you in the house. The moment the divorce is real you'll be asked to leave. You should leave though because your husband is an immoral criminal. When the divorce happens, protect your interests. I don't want to let him go. I'm sorry. But he has already gone. He is a predator. He collects women. He got you at 22 and now you are too old. He wants an 18-year-old. When she turns 23-25, he'll want a 16-year-old. I'm sorry, but you married a monster. Is your husband Leonardo DiCaprio by any chance? https://www.uscis.gov/policymanual/volume 8 part chapter 2 underlines marriage fraud. Absolutely don't do this. He's trying to fleece you. He's basically asking permission to cheat, and if you say no he'll just stay married to the newer, more attractive plaything. Troll. In another post, she is single. Divorce him, and when he marries her shop him to the authorities. He's a pervert. This is illegal. You could be jailed and she would be deported. They check these things out. It would not be temporary. It would take years for her to get immigration unless someone reports them both for immigration fraud. And if your husband is a naturalized citizen he would be deported as well.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.